Hi everyone, welcome to, I don't know what we're on, episode 8, I think, of Life in Lockdown. My guest today is Rachel Fordham. She is a historical romance writer. She is the author of, go on, you tell us, Rachel.
Okay, my first book is The Hope of Azure Springs. My second one is Yours Truly, Thomas. And this summer I have A Life Once Dreamed coming out.
Cool. When does A Life Once Dreamed release?
August 3rd or 4th, something like that.
So that's all done. That's all signed off to the printers, good to go.
Yep, just waiting.
Just waiting for the box on your porch.
Exactly. And I wrote it a long time ago, so it feels like a long time coming. So, and you know how that is.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I've had my last release, which was One Thing I Know last February. I wrote that in 2014. So it was my second manuscript that I ever finished. But it ended up being my 5th book published. So yeah, there was kind of, what was that? 5-6 years in between writing it and it being published.
They're coming out in a different order too, so it's fun.
So where are you right now? Where do you live? What's your family situation, and what is your lockdown situation?
I live in Washington State. I live on a little island. It has a bridge though, so it's pretty normal still. And luckily we have a lot of land because I have 7 kids home with me right now. So they're not in school, so they're all home, and we foster. So we have that on top of our biological kids. And my husband and I were just saying, what would lockdown be like if it was just the 2 of us? Because it feels like we're like busy from, I don't know, like just they get up at like 6:30 and it's just go. And they're really good kids, but it's definitely not, there's not downtime. I see everybody talking about binging Netflix and I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's fun. Yeah.
So how old are 7? I've got 3 and I'm trying to imagine 4 more on top of my 3 and
So my biological kids go from 4 to 14, and then our foster right now is 3. So we've got an 11-year span, which is, I think, why it feels extra busy because, older kids think they should get to stay up later because it feels like vacation. And then little kids like get up super early so it's busy, but good busy, and they get along, and it's been sunny. So I send them outside a lot. When it starts raining again, you might want to check in with me because I might be pretty crazy by then.
You're lucky because you're opposite to us because you're coming out of winter, whereas we're going into winter.
Yes. Yeah. So every day it's like, it's a little bit nicer, and I am a pretty good mom as long as I can say, okay, guys, run outside and play. And if they don't want to, I say, okay, you can stay in and do a job for me, or you can run out and play. And
here are your choices. So are they still, the older ones, are they still in school but doing some kind of distance learning, or?
Yeah, they will until I think June 19th is the last day for that, which it doesn't take a whole lot for me other than just making sure that they're doing it, but they're all really good students. But there's just so many of them that someone always needs me, even if they're doing a really good job,
You have your own class. We have schools in New Zealand that have fewer than 7 kids in them.
Yeah, it's like I'm a 1-room school teacher. So with toddlers running around. So.
And so what else is your situation right now? And are you shelter in place? Is that your term over there?
Yeah, well, I think our state actually called it just like a stay-at-home order. My husband's not working, and so he's around to help. So I shouldn't act like this is all on me. We're a good team. He helps. So he's not working, which is, I mean, it's hard, but it is what it is. And we went out. Yeah, we haven't been out much. We're like, wow, we haven't left our island in ages. There's the beaches on the island though that have no people really at them. So like yesterday we went clamming for a couple hours, and that was like a huge field trip. It felt like, and we walked, I think, like 0.1 miles to get there.
Wow.
So
it's
not
amazing.
really gone anywhere.
So is it kind of like a stay at home unless you have to go out for essential purposes situation?
Yeah, and we're not like super paranoid about anything, but I do have a son who's immunocompromised, and so we've been like taking it all like real seriously just because, and we want my husband to go back to work, so we're like, if we all take it seriously, we have better odds of it ending sooner. So
yeah,
I know a lot of people more than we do, but it just hasn't felt worth it.
Yeah. Do you have many cases of coronavirus in your area?
We're like pretty secluded, and I think at one point we had like 20 something, and they've all recovered now. So I don't think there's, but we're like just a couple hours from Seattle. So I mean, that's definitely still in the state.
Yeah.
Just
Because
not by us.
Seattle was one of the hotspots, wasn't it? I know I can't even remember now. Just before it kind of blew up, we had a friend over from Seattle, and they just closed all their schools when he arrived. His wife was not thrilled that he was coming to New Zealand while leaving her alone with 2 kids who were not going to school anymore.
Yeah, it was definitely like for the US, we were one of the first, like, it felt like everything was introduced here, kind of the first to close schools, the first to, shut down the non-essential stuff. So it's gone on forever, it feels like.
And is school out for the rest of the year? Like, have they said like this is it, or are they saying we're just going to
Yeah, it's already been like called, so it'll just be the distance learning for 2 more months. So it'll work out.
We're all like, just we're bare knuckling it. We're like, we can do this. We can.
Give ourselves some pep talks.
So you have a book coming out in August, and I presume that means that you're probably working on a new project now. So what's it been like for your kind of writing and creative process, this whole situation?
Yeah, well, when it first like happened and we found out that my husband wasn't going to work, it was really stressful. Like just as we were like trying to figure out what we were going to do, and since we own the business, like it was really hard for us to tell our employees, like even though it wasn't our fault, like you can't work. I mean, it was really heartbreaking for us, and so it was probably a good 2 weeks where I didn't like even open my laptop. I just felt like my brain was too, I don't know, on other things. And then I was like, hey, I don't really have a lot of time because I have all these kids, but I was like, but my husband's home and life is different. Like I should just get something done. And so I like written an entire rough draft, done titling paperwork, and I'm like almost through edits on my 2021 book. So I've gotten really productive now. I don't know why. I think just now that I'm not as stressed, that's a good distraction from the like level of stress that I'm at. So I've been super productive, that
is amazing. You're the first person out of all of this who has been able to be like, this has done real good things for my writing. Can you tell us a little bit about both your August release and the one that you've just finished drafting?
Yeah. So my August one is it's about a teacher, and she like left her town that she'd been in. She'd been in the city. She leaves and goes rural, and then it's like 6 years later, and she's kind of hiding from this secret in her past. And then her past shows up in town, and she has to confront it. But I'm like super excited for it to come out because I wrote it forever ago, and I love it, and I think there's tons of chemistry between these characters. But I'm kind of nervous because there's a small section of the book that actually has like a quarantine scenario in it. So hopefully it's received okay. It's historical, and it's not the main theme of the book. So hopefully people will enjoy that they can relate to that and not feel triggered by it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you say, it's a totally different setting and totally different time. It's not like a contemporary like I write. It would be, right now.
Right.
And so what's that one called?
That one is called A Life Once Dreamed. I'm really excited for it to come out. And then my next book, so my 2021 book, has an old time dentist in it, which is kind of fun because I was feeling like every dentist in the media is made to look like just like an idiot usually. And so I was like, I am going to write a romantic dentist. and dental assistance was kind of a new career for women, which is sort of fun because we get so many teachers and nurses. And so, it's a little bit different career. So that's my 2021 book. And the one that I just wrote, so 2022, is kind of has a rags to riches thing going on. I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough to come up with to have my good elevator speech for it because it's so new.
So what's your favorite part of the writing process and what's your least favorite part?
Well, if I have a good idea, probably rough drafting is my favorite, because I'm a pantser, and so I don't ever know what's going to happen, and so I'm always excited to find out what's going to happen. I have started a couple though that haven't really gone anywhere, and so that's no fun. But like this one, it's like whenever I could squeeze in a minute to write, it was so fun because I'm like, come on guys, get together.
Are you gonna
I don't really love, because I'm like grammatically challenged, and so I don't like that like final editing phase where you're trying to find typos and stuff because I can't see them and it makes me feel not very smart. I also am not very good at marketing, and so I know that's not really the writing process, but I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and people will be like, oh, should I buy your book? I'm like, well, find the best still. Like, so but overall I enjoy it all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm exactly the same. I am punctuation and grammatically challenged. So, during the copy edit process, I'm just like, if you say that's how it is, I'm just going to believe you. I will never fight with you over punctuation. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. That is how I am. And my kids, now they're all home and they want me to help them with English. And I'm like, I can help you write a story, but they want me to do that whole break up the sentence, diagram it or something thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. My lovely developmental editor Yola, who I've had this is my third book that I've done with her, and all of her developmental edits, she always hopefully includes this paragraph around like active sentences and passive sentences and past participles and what I could be what I could work on growing in it. And I'm like, it's just not going to happen.
Right. That's me too. I think my last editor sent me this thing about like gray and she's like, you're using the European spelling of all of these. I'm like, really? I didn't even know that. Like, I don't know. It's bad. But they put up with me, so
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. And I mean,
keeping them
marketing is hard at the best of times. I mean, there are some of our compatriots who make it look easy, and I'm always in awe of them. But I think for most of us, it's just hard, especially right now where, the world is in such a, I guess, a difficult spot in many ways. You feel, a bit strange being out there being like, and here's my book, everyone.
Right.
Half of it, but here's my book.
Yeah, it's natural. It's not natural, and yet at the same time, people remind me all the time that there's so much value in entertainment, and I look at other authors and I think that their books and are totally worth the money, and I don't know, so it's weird.
It's so
anyway.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in this because we love stories and we love books. I mean, this is like the third bookshelf in my house.
Right?
Like, if I wasn't an author, I would still like that.
Yeah. No,
Um, so, final two questions. What do you
okay.
miss most, and what is keeping you sane right now?
Well, I think I'm a little bit of a homebody anyway, so some of it's okay for me, but I think that I still have a little bit of that teenager in me that's like, don't tell me I can't go out. And so, I'm so happy at home. But when I get that like urge to go see my family or friends, it's, I don't know, makes me feel all riled up inside. I'm like, no, I want to. So I think just people. I could do without shopping and all those things, but people and I don't know, picking up. I've actually homeschooled different kids before, but having to pick up. I missed school because I wasn't planning on doing this, and so to just suddenly overnight have to be able to pick up in the middle of algebra and all those things is challenging. But people. And what was the other one? Staying sane.
What's keeping you sane?
Okay, so it sounds weird, but the level of stress I'm at right now, it is really helping to be super productive. And so I've been working really hard, like I told you, when I have time. And the sunshine and being able to send them out to play is keeping me sane, somewhat sane. And I've been doing like a theme every week with the kids, and it's been helping because every day I'll say, okay, anybody who gets their work done by 2:00 gets to kind of do this fun thing that we have planned, and that's helping because they're all excited and they just want to get their stuff done. But I don't know. I told you when it rains, though, ask me if I'm sane, and I'll probably say no. So.
You'll just have to message me. You'll just have to be like, Cara, it's been raining for 3 days.
Yeah, they're inside and they're climbing on me, and they're everywhere.
There's all of them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone who's watching, we're going to be giving away a copy of Rachel's book, and you can choose between yours truly, Thomas, or you can choose to delay gratification and wait until August for a copy of her new one. So leave a comment about which one you'd like, and I'll draw it in a couple of days. Thanks, Rachel. It was lovely to see you.
Thank you.
All the
Thanks for having me.
All the kids. Oh my gosh.
Right. Bye.